Where's the hard to
Hard to
kill?
kill Blu-ray.
It's hard to die, okay, not hard to kill. And
Yes,
I'm
I'll
asking
do
that myself. The fuckers that own the rights now are still not putting it out. I told them to put out Hard to Die and Sorority House Massacre 2, with the two Orville films.
Mm-hmm.
And I was very unhappy that they still haven't done it yet. They both need Blu-rays.
Yeah, I'm very unhappy with that company myself. The way they treat the Roger Corman titles.
They suck. They suck.
Yeah. I'm not too happy with. I'll say it. Shout Factory, Shit Factory. I'm not too happy with them. They treat a lot of their titles like crap that they have, and I don't like it.
Oh yeah, they're awful people because they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what to do.
They don't.
And so, anyway, bottom line is, eventually something's going to come out. So
I'm looking for it. I've been waiting on that one a while myself.
Nice, Mr. I love this guy. Sorority House Massacre 2 and Hard to Die are fun to watch. You know, they are fun to watch. That's a story I'll tell right now.
Go ahead.
I was working for Roger, and he was going out of town with his wife, Julie Corman, who had produced Chopping Mall. And they had just finished shooting some sort of Slumber Party Massacre 3 and a movie called Rock and Roll High School Forever. And I walked up to Julie and I said, let's shoot a movie while your husband's gone. And she says, okay, but I'll fund it, but don't overspend. And do you have a script? I said, no. But I can use the sets from Rock and Roll High School Forever and Slumber Party Massacre 3. So I sat down at a desk at Corman's and belted out a script in 3 days. I wrote the entire script for Slumber Party, Sorority House Massacre 2, which it became. It was originally called The Seance, and I cast it and shot it while Roger was out of town for a week in Europe. And Julie said, don't tell anybody. So Roger came back. He was at the studio. He used to have a big building in Brentwood where the offices were, but then he had a studio over in Santa Monica. And it was an old converted lumber yard. Anyway, he was down at the lumber yard and he walked in and he saw blood all over the sets. And he saw blood on the sets of Rock and Roll High School Forever. He says, what's all this blood? Ruined the set. And they said, oh, that's Jim Wynorski. He was in here last week shooting a movie. So I get this call at home. And he says, Roger says, what movie were you shooting last week? I told him, I said, I shot a movie in 7 days while you were gone. And he says, can I see it? He said, ask your wife. It's her movie. And so he called Julie, and Julie said, go watch it. And he went down to the studio. He was at the studio, and he went into the editing rooms, and they showed what they had cut. And I got there, and he said, can you do one for me in the same way? He said, just remake it. So I wrote this movie called Hard to Die. Okay? And I shot it on the same sets with the same people, basically. Because he had just finished this movie called Corporate Assets, which I don't believe ever came out. I think it's one of those movies that just got buried. It might have come out under a different title, but it was when it was shooting, it was called Corporate Assets. It was a comedy about, big business. And I could see why it never came out. Anyway, bottom line is I shot on those sets, and I made it even sillier and more outrageous than the seance. Because I said I have a guy named Orville Ketchum who looks like the villain, but he's actually the good guy. I don't know if you've ever seen these movies, but
Yeah.
they're kind of fun to watch. And
Yeah.
I made both of them, and a lot of people like them, and they still haven't come out on Blu-ray, and I don't know why. So you never know.
It's because Shit Factory don't know how to handle what they got.
That's absolutely the truth. That's the Sorority House Massacre 2 Hard to Die story.
There you go.
A madman has sealed off a Los Angeles high-rise.
Who's there? Hey, the phone's dead.
Now, 5 young women are joining forces and fighting for their lives.
Look, it's 3 against 1. The odds are in our favor. Maybe I can increase those odds. He led you, son of a bitch!
Hard to Die.